Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. Let's start off with a little bit of review. And we'll talk more about today's games. Not that I'm thrilled about doing baseball right now. Baseball is it is not reliable. So got to call spades spades. Thinking about just stopping doing baseball for the time being and just focusing on other sports. Golf's been good. There are other games out there we could look at. So call in if you got any ideas. The number's there every day. It'd be nice if, more than just the usual group of people called in. So, okay. So yesterday, the Blue Jays did beat the Royals and did improve to 32-53 to face the Boston Red Sox. That's who their next series will be against. Boston's 32, Boston Red Sox is 53. So that's how we imagine the last two games of that series were going to go. The Cubs seemingly had a good riddle to beat the Pirates yesterday. Pirates could have picked up the 20th loss on the 28 numerology. Could have stayed on 17 home wins on 1/7. The Cubs could have got their 17th win on 1/7. And Hurdle could have picked up that career loss that corresponded with the prime number relationship with 211 and 47. Yesterday had 47 date numerology as well, but the Pirates crushed the Cubs. And this game's just another reminder that just baseball, the typical patterns, this season's just off. I mean, baseball's not baseball this year. 2-game series. I mean, since when are there 2-game series? There's 2-game series all the time. There's all these crazy runs. Everyone bats 200 now. It's either home run or a strikeout pretty much. And I think with all the legalized gambling and everything, I think it's changed the game. Things are definitely different this year. So, I mean, you can still see the scripting's there, but it's not what it was. I mean, I got to be straight up about it. So, and I feel bad for people who are just signed up for $5 a month, who aren't here to support the cause, but who want correct picks because, the pick margin is not good right now in baseball. So, but yeah, I mean, this Cubs game should have came through historically, just like a lot of games should be coming through that aren't. The Rays and Orioles game was a definite risk. The Rays had a chance to pick up the 20th home loss, but we also said they could become 4-2 versus the Orioles. Orioles 42. That's been a big number with the Orioles. Plus, they're the Orioles on the road. So this game wasn't shocking. This was the risk-reward game. The Brewers-Reds game had a riddle to go either way. Could have made sense either way. Brewers did pick it up. And the Giants, Samardzija did get the win. Like I said yesterday, his record was just too perfect with a win over the Padres. His all-time record and his record with the Giants became wins and losses where it read San Diego Padres in letters to numbers. So, I mean, that's the evidence there of just how scripted it all really is. They still make it all line up. There's no way that was an accident that Samardzija's record was that perfect after beating the Padres. But the killer yesterday was that this game got canceled because of the death. I put out 2 videos about that on my Gematria Effect news channel. And yeah, I mean, we'll never know what's going to happen, but it's too bad because the Rangers had a really awesome riddle to win yesterday. They could have become 20-20 in the division on the 20 date, picked up the 47th win of the season, kept the Angels at 20. But the ritualistic death of the pitcher Tyler Skaggs, who just pitched Saturday. You might just know Skaggs picked up his 38th career loss Saturday, right before his death. Death 38. But if you missed those videos, you might want to especially check out the second one I put out on Gematria Effect News. It's synced up with the death of the Angels pitcher in 2009, which was the year that Skaggs was drafted by the Angels. But yeah, that was disappointing because, I mean, I guess if the rate things are going, if it didn't come through, I'd say, well, I guess there's just another game that they're just not. I don't know, but it seemed like that one should have come through. So, and the other thing I'm thinking about, I mean, it's obvious that this work's trying to be sabotaged, right? There's a gang of trolls that live on this page, like they have no life. They just post here around the clock. They post my address. It's like, who do these people work for? And that's the other thing I think about. I mean, we're putting these picks out oftentimes, 6 hours before the game. So if if they want to sabotage this movement and this work and keep this knowledge from spreading, which it has been for 5 years up to this point, easy way to do it is just flip the script, like the announcers keep saying. Seems like almost every game I watch, too, I'm hearing the announcers say that term. The script has flipped. It's like they got to say it once a game at least. But, yeah, anyway. To go through today's games, the first one is the Marlins at the Nationals. And again, the date numerology today is 48, 21, 28, and 9. The primary method's 48, 21 at the beginning of the month. When you got one less method to work with, the lesser numerology is usually important, so the 28 could play today too. The games with 48s on the board are the Mets can pick up their 48th loss. The Giants can also pick up their 48th loss. And the 21s are the Angels can pick up their 21st away win. In the Indians' case, it's not that helpful because they can get their 21st away win or loss. And then the 28s are the Tigers can pick up the 28th win, and the Twins can pick up the 28th away win as well. But with regards to the 21 date numerology, the game 73 days after Mattingly's birthday, the manager of the Marlins, that's the 21st prime. His team is on 21 away losses. The Nationals are also on 21 home wins. So the way they could both stay on 21 is with a Marlins upset. And then the Marlins record would become 33-50. Nationals is 33. Washington's 50. So if Marlins win, they become 33-50. Nationals 33, Washington 50. And both teams could stay on respective 21s with a Marlins win. Patrick Corbin, though, he can become 8-5, and it does seem lately that things are more pitcher-driven than team record-driven, which is not the historical norm. But if he does win, he'll be 8-5, and Florida Marlins is 85. They are the monster favorite, so. The other thing is if the Nationals lost, they would pick up their 103rd loss versus the Marlins at home on 2/7, kind of like 27, 103, the 27th prime. So there's reasons to believe the Marlins could win, that's for sure. But I'm not even going to offer any picks today, you guys. I'm just going to go over the numbers. I feel like if I make a pick, it's most likely to be wrong. That's how it's been for, I mean, the last month. I mean, there's been some good days, but and just some of these games just don't make any sense to me. So anyway, I'm going to go over the numbers. You guys can make your own picks. And I just feel if I say I like this game, then that game's probably going to be wrong. Could be 1,000 things that lined up for the game. It would probably be wrong if I said I liked it. So. Okay, so the Cubs-Pirates game. You got Musgrove on 28 losses on a 28 date facing number 28. And the Cubs are on 34 losses versus the National League. Pirates equals 34. If they won the rest of the games in the series, they could stay on those 34 losses for the series. That reminds me, I forgot to do this for the Marlins and Nationals game. Okay, 22-17. That's not the date. Miami could get their 27th loss on 2-7 versus the NL East. I got to make that note here. Now, just realize this pattern did not work yesterday because there were some thoughts about 17 with 1/7 on July 1st. So 2 games that had that opportunity, neither went that way, which might be inclined to think that maybe it doesn't go that way with Miami either. They would be the upset. So okay, so the Cubs and the Pirates. Caller?
Hey, Zach, this is Dutch, man. How are you?
I'm all right. What's up?
Not too much. I pretty much only do the golf via the the live stream. But since you were talking earlier about any additional information in regards to MLB, I don't bet on baseball. I just, like I said, during the summer, it's too herky-jerky historically in general. But have you ever looked at maybe the umpires? Because I know that statistically certain umpires have like an inordinate amount of wins when they're, I guess, umpiring a game for the home team.
Sure. That's a good thought. I don't normally look at the umpires. I should.
Yeah, because like that guy who, I forget the guy's name, who did the London series. I think his name is Jose something. Like I'm talking about like 12-2 for the over, or like 18-2 for the home team. It's like some really inordinate numbers in regards to that regard. And then Paxton, you were saying earlier with
he must have been for the away teams because the Yankees won both. They were the away team.
Right, but I'm sorry. In regards to his stats, it was more so about the fact that if you bet the over, he's like 89, like 82% with the over. Although I know you don't do overs per se, but just since people are listening, that might be a little thing. And Paxton, I think you said something about he's pitching today, correct?
For the Yankees, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's well, he's not that good at home. He's actually 2-2 at home and 3-1 away. I think you said earlier, but I guess he gets so much run support.
He is away today. They're at the Mets. The Yankees are at the Mets today.
Oh, well, there you go. Because he's 3-1 away, from my understanding, at least as of last week. And of course, the Yankees win like 70% of the time at this point of the season. So, yeah. So anyway, I was just wondering if you ever tease out maybe some of these particular umpires, because like I said, like Alan Porter, Bruce Drexman, Adrian Johnson. These are ones where, I mean, when you do the math on them, they're like 12, 11, 23, 36, and 4 for the home team to win. I mean, it's pretty staggering.
Where do you get that Where do you get that information for the over and under with them and all that?
Let's see here. So various websites. So for instance, I got to go to my other phone. I would have to call you back on that, to be honest with you. But let me see if I can pull up one real quick since we're on live here. Hold on 1 second, please. Let me see here. And even with the first 5, there's a there's a stats for certain teams that do very well for the first 5 innings versus the entire game.
Okay, this website here, Fantasy Alarm, has it for 4 games.
Okay. I was looking. Let me see. Do I still have that up on my other phone here? Hold on 1 second. I may have crunched those. Okay, I got TeamRankings.com has a MLB first 5 innings runs per game option on there. I just Googled literally first 5 innings win record or win percentage, and it popped up. And then in regards to the umpires, I've just been tracking it, honestly. Can't tell you what a particular website per se, but because I was trying to get into MLB towards, maybe this month and try to figure out how to really, work it out. And I was trying to find trends. So
they seem to shift like the wind, so
no doubt about that. But yes, I don't know if something maybe running through the umpires a little bit as well. Certain umpires, I can't say all the umpires. There's too many damn umpires, I'm sure. And I think that when I looked at the list of umpires, it's like 47 of them or 52 of them in the whole, in the whole league. But certain ones definitely have
disproportionate numbers. Like this Danley guy, Drake. These guys' numbers are high. Here's another guy, Fletcher. Yeah, so maybe following their games and betting overs because they're like at 70+%.
Correct, exactly. And maybe I don't know what's going on with them and the gematria of their names and who they are and where they come from. But I have Alan Porter. I have Bruce Drexman. Well, I think one of these 3 is umpiring today, and Adrian Johnson. And like I said, I didn't write down the guy's name who, oh, yes, I did. Hold on. That's another guy. Hold on 1 second. Carlos Torres. He's the one that did the London series.
Okay.
That was just for the over. That wasn't for the home team per se. That was just for the over. So that kind of, like you said, being that it was on TV, the London series, I'm sure they loved it that it was like 18-13. But he is like, I think stats are like, he's plus 70% on the over as well.
73.3% on the over. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, see? Yeah. So.
Yeah, and he was a joke of an umpire too. He was just a joke. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
For anyone who watched that game, Mookie Betts got a ball low and away outside that should have been a walk, and he rung him up. And then the Yankee you could just see the game was fixed because the Red Sox actually should have took the lead 7-6. There was no reason to hold the runner up at 30. He would have made it home easily unless he tripped over his shoelaces 4 times. So that was the first clue that something was wrong. And then Mookie Betts struck out on a bullshit pitch, the next pitch that was nowhere near a strike. It was a complete walk. So that ended the inning. And then the Yankees scored a whole bunch of runs the next inning. And that none of that should have happened. Or actually, I think maybe they should have scored 2 runs. I forget. But they ended up scoring like 8 runs. But there was a strikeout pitch. It just couldn't have been any more of a strike. It was just a strike all day, and he didn't call it. And then that extended the at-bat. And then I think it ended up being a home run. And it was one of those things where the hitter, you can tell it happens a lot in baseball where the announcer will hit the ball or the player will hit the ball down the line and it's probably going foul, but the announcer makes it sound like it could be a home run and then the next pitch is the home run. You can just see how it's all fixed like that. It's like, yeah, he was supposed to hit the home run before that foul ball, but then he got it on the next one. So
I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, man. Good thoughts. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Yeah. Well, it's a good thought here with these umpires. For those of you guys doing over and under, you can see how the over and under hits with some of these guys. So if you want to find out what games they're umping. But yeah, some of these guys. This guy, Porter, 87%. How often is he behind home plate, though? But it's almost certainly it's going to hit the over when he's behind there. You must call every strike a ball. It's right down the middle. Ball 4. You guys ever remember playing Little League Baseball? If you were ever a pitcher, I'm sure some of you guys had this experience, when the father's umpire in Little League, sometimes you strike out the father's son, but then the father, he calls it a ball. So it's like, get out of here, man. I know he's your kid, but your kid sucks and he just struck out. Okay. So yeah, that's a thought. I mean, track all the umpires and just do that. I mean, that could be the winning strategy in baseball because gotta be honest, man, my method is not working right now. It is not, and it is very aggravating. Yeah, you know what? Somebody call in and let me know if you even want me to keep on doing this. All you guys who are here who never call in, the number's there, 509-731-0567. Should I keep doing this? Like, because what's going through my head each day, well, for the past month while this hasn't been working out, is, you know, is this insanity to just keep spending all this time every single day looking at the same variables and, you know, for the last month, it's like I've never worked harder at decoding sports and had worse results. And that's not a pleasant experience. So, Cubs and Pirates. I do see something there. Caller?
Hi, Zach. It's Anita. Haven't talked to you ever before, so hello.
Hello. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, yeah, thanks. I think that I'm just going to lay low until NFL. I don't really follow baseball a lot. And I think you really do really great when we get into the NFL season.
Well,
like you said, baseball has been so wishy-washy. It's just hard to, you know, contain and follow some of these scripts. But I think you're doing a great job. I always enjoy listening to you. But I'm just waiting on NFL.
well, so that's what you know, I'm waiting for the NFL too, because it's a lot easier and it's a lot more consistent. But I'm just wondering if this is a waste of people's time to keep doing baseball right now, because I don't want to quit on it. I want to figure it out, but it really does seem like, like I said a minute ago, it seems like it's the win. Like this week it's this, then next week it's not. It's just like, okay. My head's spinning here.
You're right. It's frustrating. You know, we just have to keep, you know, trying to find the different scripts and the ins and outs. And I think it's helpful when people, you know, in the chat and, put their input in. And I try to do some on my own and come up with decisions, you know, just use your data and just put everything together and, you know, just go for it. It's not going to be 100%. But so, I mean, if we're voting, I would, you know, like me personally, I listen, but I'm just right now, I'm not gambling right now. I'm just going to lay low and wait till we rev up on the NFL.
Well, that seems like a really wise strategy. So I think you're with it.
Right.
Okay. I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right. Yeah. You have a good day. Bye. Okay. Something I do spot about Clint Hurdle for this game here is that it's 337 days after his birthday, which is the 68th prime, and his team can become 6-8. Wait a minute. No, never mind. That's not true. This is an NL Central match. Okay, that's not correct. Yeah, I just see that the Cubs are on 34 losses versus the NL, and I just wonder if they might stay parked there since Pirates is 34. But they should have won yesterday, so that would have been a lot more encouraging. That was part of the reason I was thinking they'd win yesterday too, because they'd only lose one in the series. I mean, they could just lose the first game, but okay. There's no great clue for that game. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have played the Red Sox better this year than they have historically. The Blue Jays are 4-5 versus the Red Sox this year. And they've struggled at home. They've played better at Boston than they have at home. They're 1-3 at home. But what do we know about 23 in the Blue Jays? That's a number that plays for them a lot. So if they did win today, they'd be 2-3. And Boston, Massachusetts is 55. If they even the series at 5-5. And it's also 257 days after Cora's birthday, which is the 55th prime. Red Sox could be 5-5 versus Jays. Price's record would also make sense with the loss because he'd be 5-3. Boston Red Sox is 53. He's on 21 losses with Boston on the 21 date. So Boston just came back from the UK. Let me look more at their stats. Okay, Toronto 10-17, Boston 17-18, 21-30 wins, 32-42 losses, 25-37. It looks like a game, where there's a potential upset right here. But the one thing that's missing is, well, I was going to say the date numerology is missing, but then again, the date numerology has been hit and miss itself. So that's just part of my mindset when I decode sports. I like to see a date numerology lineup, but it's burned me as much as it's helped me for the last month in baseball, that's for sure. Okay. So that's a potential upset. The Orioles and the Rays. So the Orioles are now 2-4 versus the Rays. The Rays are 4-2 versus the O's. Orioles is 42. If the O's lost today, they'd be 2-5. And Tampa Bay's 25. Whoops. So I think that's likely to fall to 2-5 versus them. Sure. I guess that's the one other thing to consider is that if the Rays did lose, they would be 4-3 versus the Orioles. Tampa Bay Rays is 43. But I'm thinking more about the Tampa thing. I've seen that 25 play a lot. If the Orioles did win one in the series, they would get to 25 wins, and Tampa Bay's 25. Let's look at their AL East stats. So Baltimore's next loss in the East is 25 figures. And Tampa's 16-14. So they have 40 wins versus the American League. Their next is 41. Baltimore's 41. They have 32 losses. But yeah, that one was dicey as well. The pitcher for the Orioles is making his debut with the Orioles today. Let me check. I remember some about this name, Charlie Morton, real quick. He's 83 and 83 right now. And yeah, when you use the rule with H in reverse, his name is 83. I remember talking about that, how that could happen to him last time. So if he lost today, he'd also fall to 8-3 on the season. Just like how he's 83 and 83 for his career. All right. Tampa Bay, that line is huge, though. That's in the territory where it normally doesn't go the other way. Okay. For those of you who text in during the show, feel free to call in, because it's harder for me to respond to the text message because I have to like type in the phone password and open up the phone. If you call, it's just one switch. Okay. Somebody text in, don't quit. We're going to figure it out. Okay. I mean, that is my mentality, man. But I'll tell you what, I just keep going. Is there something better that we should be doing right now? I know there's other things we can be winning at. Baseball is really like, feel like I'm fighting Bruce Lee every day. So, okay. Paxton and Wheeler, the battle of the New York teams. Notice the Mets' next win is 39. Their next loss is 48. Those are both New York numbers, 39, 48. I wonder if they'll split these two games to make that happen. Let me make sure this is, let's see how many games this series is. Yeah, see, another 2-game series. That's like the thing in 2019, 2-game series. Okay. Well, maybe they will split then and do. They split earlier this year, didn't they? They're 1-1 right now. The Mets haven't won more games than the Yankees since 2013. 6 years ago. Okay. Wheeler's on 39 wins for the Mets. That kind of makes me think he's not going to get the win today. The big New York number. He also is 6-5 facing the Yankees. God, you know what? Maybe that's just the way we should decode, man. Maybe I just got to start looking at who the team plays. It's tough because not every pitcher gets the starting decision, but it seems like so often when you look at a pitcher's record, when he comes from the series, he has the record that corresponds with the opponent. New York Yankees, 65. It's just that not every starting pitcher gets the decision, so that's tough too. But I guess that could be the way to figure out if they're going to get a decision. If it lines up with the next team, the winner, the loss. Okay. But I don't see him advancing off 39. That just doesn't seem right in the New York series. It's also 33 days after Wheeler's birthday, and New York's also 33. Let's see. The Mets' next win against the Yankees is 51, and Mets is 51. New York Yankees is 70. This is going to be the Yankees' 83rd game, I noticed. I almost skipped that. 83rd game for Yankees, 23rd prime. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything like that with these other games. I noticed the interleague records have been good indicators, so that could help us out too. Okay. All right, the Yankees are 6-4. Ooh, so if they lost, they'd be 6-5. That's interesting. The Mets are 4-3. All right, they got number 65 on the mound too. Yankees are 6-4 versus NL. The only thing about that is, I mean, New York Yankees does equal 65 in the most pure cipher, but if you do use the rule for S, it is 74. And the Mets record's not as interesting. Mets Or 4 and 3 versus AL. Yankees equals 26 in the most pure cipher, 35 if you use the rule for S, and 44 if you use the rule for S and K, because S can be 10 and K can be 11. So, that's 65, though, with number 65 on the mound. We gotta see who pitches tomorrow in that game. Vargas. German. New York, NY is 93. If they split and German lost, he'd be 9 and 3. Yeah. I think that they will probably split again to get those New York numbers in the Mets record. They're the home team. The one other thing for the Yankees is today is that we do have the lesser date numerology of 28. The Yankees' next away win is 24. Mets is also 24. So I am thinking the Yankees just win one. Could wait and see who wins today, but okay, the Brewers and the Reds. Let's see here. So his next loss for the Brewers pitcher Anderson is 26, and Reds equals 26. He could pick up his 26th career loss versus the Reds. Let's see. The Reds have not won yet at home this year versus the Brewers. They're 3-7 on the season. If they did win, they'd be 4-7, kind of like Ohio's 47. The Reds are on 37 losses right now versus the National League. Milwaukee's 37. If the Brewers lost, they'd be 4-1 at Cincinnati this year, kind of like 41 the 13th prime, which goes with their symbol, M the 13th letter. Let me look at the division stats again one more time here. Okay, the Reds versus the Central, 15-21. They could stay on 21 losses on the 21 date. Milwaukee's 23-13. All right, let me make that note here. Is that right? 21 losses, yeah. The Reds played the Brewers not so bad just recently in Milwaukee. To me, things line up a little bit better for the Reds here. I wonder if they can pull out two. Well, yeah. But yeah, things do look a little bit better for the Reds to me. The Phillies and the Braves. Nola's next win is his 48th. Atlanta's 48th. And Keuchel's next loss is his 65th. We know how big 65 has been with Philadelphia this year. We've seen a lot of pitchers become 6-5 against Philadelphia. So to get his 65th loss against Philadelphia, I think that fits into the same type of theme. It's 28 days after Nola's birthday on the 28 date, but there's no 28s on the board. The Braves are 2-4 versus the Phillies this year. And what's up, man?
Okay, so yeah, so there's some interesting alignments with the Blue Jays game that I wanted to point out. And so what I'm seeing is that the Blue Jays do have a chance to actually upset this game, but there is a couple things that stand out that they might lose. And that's so the Blue Jays are at 358 all-time losses versus the Red Sox runoff. They lose, they can pick up the 359th, and that's the 72nd prime. And today's date can be written
7-2. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I've seen that, but David Price's record, you know, he can fall to 5-3, and Boston Red Sox equals 53.
Right.
And also, this is another interesting. So the Red Sox can become 5-5 versus the Blue Jays this year. With David Price in the game, and David Price equals 55.
And it's also 257 days after Cora's birthday, which is the 55th prime.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So I do see some interesting, but there's a couple things that do suggest they still may lose. And another real interesting thing is the Blue Jays are linked up with the day of the year right now because with this series, because the Blue Jays could remain at 183 losses today, home losses today versus the Red Sox, and it is the 183rd day of the year. So maybe it could follow that pattern: 183, 184, 185. As far as that goes, like they had 183 today and picked up 184 tomorrow, and pick up 185 the next day. I don't know. And what else? If the Blue Jays do win, they'll become 2-3 at home versus the Red Sox today. And today does have the numerology of 9, and that is the 23rd prime. And Blue Jays does equal 23, and so this Tuesday equals 23 too. So I just wanted to point those things out. And I don't know, it's a little bit tough just because of this the 359 all-time loss today. That makes it a little bit hard for me to figure that one out.
Yeah, that is a good point about 359. I overlooked that. So.
That is there. And then it was what else game was it? It was interesting. There's another interesting alignment.
Here, hold on. Before we go off this game, let's look at what David Price's record is all time against the Red Sox. That could be
okay. What is his all-time record, by the way?
I'm pulling it up right now. So that could be crucial piece of information. Let's see.
All right. Because there's just so much that lines up for the Blue Jays, but it's like, you know, sometimes it's just one game that can screw that whole thing up.
Well, there was a lot that lined up for the Cubs yesterday. That's the way baseball's been. So.
Oh my goodness, dude, the Cubs got blasted yesterday.
I know. It's just like, how's this even happening? The all I saw was it was Josh Bell's 322nd day of his age, but let me see here.
I'm just tired of baseball. Like, baseball's so inconsistent.
Yeah, it is, man. It's very inconsistent. The patterns, exactly. So David Price has a great record against the Blue Jays. He's 22-3 for his career, actually. 22-3. and this will be his 31st start.
So
he could get his 23rd win. I mean, it doesn't have to come, but
oh, you can get it. See, that's the kind of stuff I just hate.
But the thing is, it's like, I mean, we do know the symbolism of 23. He doesn't have to get it today. I mean, he's going to end up facing the Blue Jays again in his career, but he has a very dominant record against them, 22-3. And so just like looking at the historical trend there, it's like, well, man, it's hard to go against. What's the payout on this game? See, the line doesn't seem right based on how much he dominates them.
Yeah, I just think that's so funny. Just the 22-3 because 22-3 is a lot like 223, and today is the has a day numerology of 48, and that's
right.
You know, that's 223. So that's interesting. That's an interesting line for today's thing.
Right. Yeah.
Man, so that is kind of stuff. I guess it's worth the small try, but they could still lose that game. But they're worth it. Try. The line's not too big anyway. It's only like I think I looked at it, it's only 160 for the Red Sox or something like that. But they're not very big.
Yeah, it seems like they should be more of a favorite, but the Blue Jays have played the Red Sox tough this year, so.
Yeah, it's division. What's their division like this month? I don't have that written down. What's their division? Because they're on the same division.
Let's see. The Blue Jays are 10-17 in the AL East, and the Red Sox are 17-18 in the AL East.
Red Sox are 17-18.
This will be their 36th game.
I think they could become 18-18.
Baseball's
I don't feel like next to today though.
Well, it's their 36th game, and Toronto's 36, so it's interesting they face them for this matchup. But it's the Blue Jays' 28th game versus the division on the 28-8 numerology. But yeah, it's a crapshoot, that game. I mean, there's a risk reward with the Blue Jays. It does really seem like the line should be a lot higher for the Red Sox, but
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There was another game. What else? Another game was I looking at?
I just pointed out that Keiko can get his 65th loss versus Philadelphia. I mean, if there's been a consistent pattern this year, it's been 65 in Philadelphia. So.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And you said they could pick up their 65 loss against the Braves today?
Keiko can get his 65th career loss against Philadelphia today. Nola can get his 48th win with Atlanta. Atlanta's 48, Philadelphia's 65.
Okay, well that might hit him because that 65 with Philadelphia is strong today. It always is.
I mean, for patterns that have been consistent this year, I mean, that's one that has 65 in Philly.
Yeah. There was something else that I seen. Maybe the Marlins have a chance today, a small chance today. What is it? What else should I see with that? Well, I don't know if it's just recently happened, but I think the Marlins and the Nationals are in the same division. I think they just recently made that switch. They're both in the NL East, and
so the one thing that worries me about the Marlins today, they do have some riddles, but Corbin can become 8-5, and Florida Marlins is 85. And again, it really seems like baseball patterns are as consistent as the wind, and it seems that it seems like for the last week, a lot of the pitcher riddles have been coming through more than anything else. So, but then the day you feel like, okay, today's the pitchers, then it's like, oh shit, now it's back to the date numerology. So. Yeah, so I mean that, like, I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't mess with that game. But here's what I noticed earlier when I started this. Miami could get their 27th loss versus the NL East today on 2/7, but yesterday there were two games that had riddles like that with 17 on 1/7, and neither of those games went that way. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if those games didn't go that way yesterday, maybe the Miami game won't go that way today. So, but I don't like playing these guessing games.
So. That is there. You're right. You're absolutely right.
The thing I did like about the Marlins, though, is that if they won, they'd be 33-50. Nationals is 33. Washington's 50. So they'd have the team's opponent they'd have the opponent record in their name if they won. So, and both teams would stay on the respective 21 on the 21 date numerology. The Nationals would stay on 21 home wins. The Marlins would stay on 21 away losses.
There you go. And that's what I was really thinking about when actually, as you bring that up, I was thinking like, well, so what would be more important, that 21 date numerology or that date that can be written 2/7? What seems to be more important there?
Well, yesterday the 1/7/17 thing didn't play, so.
Right. So I'm like, is this 21 more important here? And that's why I said I like the Nationals, because I'm thinking that 21 may be a little slightly bit more important. For some reason.
I just noticed something that I was overlooking. Okay. The Nationals could get their 223rd loss versus the Marlins today, the 48th prime on the 48th date.
Oh, well, that's something that does stand out there. On the 48th date, absolutely. That makes so much sense.
So there are some games that look like they could be some upsets today. I mean,
yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of 21s on the board here today, and I'm seeing a lot of 27s. But I'm trying to figure out, like I said, I'm thinking maybe that 21 is more important, just because, like you said yesterday, that 1/7 did not play as tough today. And I'm also seeing a lot of 23s today, because and right today being the ninth, 9 numerology. There's a lot of 23s that stand out there too.
Oh, 7+2. Okay, July 2nd.
Yeah, so I'm seeing that because 9 and 23, and 9 and 23 is a big prime relationship.
Right. All right. I don't know if I'd count 7-2 as a 9 date, but it is.
Yeah.
So.
But man, okay, yeah, man. I just haven't done a couple days. It's just today. I was looking at games last night, and it was just tough because I'm like, these middles are just getting tighter and tighter every single day. I'm like, man. Sometimes I wonder if the people who are making these things are like making these things this tight on purpose. Like it's like they must know that we're looking at these things, because like how the hell is it this tight?
Well, I've been doing this for 5 years straight, and the media wrote about me almost 4 years ago now, so they are aware that people are onto them. So yeah, I do think they're making it tight.
And I'm thinking they're trying to bait us, like they're baiting us into certain picks. Like, okay, we'll just put this out there.
Well, like I said earlier, a lot of times we're saying what the picks are 6 hours before the game are, and look at all these trolls here all day. Who do you think they work for? So I have no doubt that they are flipping some of these games on us, but yeah, I mean. Baseball's also the toughest sport, until you get to the postseason. And then the postseason, it's not so tough. But
there's so many games, and like there's so many, with there being so many games, there can be just so many games where teams just don't even need to win. So it's like if they have a good record to win, they don't even need to win. So what's the big deal if they win or lose? So I don't think for some of these teams, because there's like 100 and I don't know how many games, like 60-something games.
162. All right, man. I'm gonna keep it moving to get through. There's still a lot of games to get through, but yeah, I hear you, man.
All right, man.
All right, thanks. Okay. So this Yankees Mets, is that where we were? Brewers Reds. Where were we? Oh, I know where we were. We were on Phillies Braves. That's where we were. And I was saying the one really consistent pattern this year has been Philadelphia in 65. So if that rings true, Keuchel could get his 65th career loss today. What's up, man?
That boy be talking nonsense. Anyways, Zach, who you like down at the Yankees and Mets?
Well, I like them to split the series. I don't know if I can tell who's going to win today. The thing that goes against the Mets pitchers, he's on 39 career wins. So it's like, is he going to get past 39 in the New York series? He could get the no decision. His team could win. But I saw that the Yankees are 6-4 in versus the National League interleague play. So if they lost, they'd be 6-5. Their magic number. New York Yankees is 65.
Okay, so what I like today is I like the Mets to win.
Okay, well that's kind of the way I'm leaning. It's just I don't know if Wheeler's going to get the win though.
Guess what? They play on ESPN tomorrow. ESPN equals 54.
Okay, so they stay on 54, the baseball number for ESPN tomorrow.
Yeah,
well,
and the pitcher for the Mets get his 40th win today. Tuesday's 40.
Is he going to come off 39 though in the New York series? I mean,
yep, yes he is. I've been on a roll lately. That's what I'm sticking to my confidence. Yep.
Okay.
And yep, ESPN equals 54. They're gonna stay on there.
Well, I like the Yankees becoming 6-5 in interleague play. That's the thing that stands out the most to me. Also, it's their 83rd game. If they didn't win, they'd stay on 23 away wins and then pick up the 24th tomorrow. Mets is 24.
Yep.
So.
And then tomorrow, Zach, I noticed nobody ain't been catching this. Tomorrow's 7-3, like 73, 21st prime.
So what, you're thinking the teams will stay on the 21 going into tomorrow?
Some.
Because that would go against the Mets.
It depends the personality of the game. Yep.
That would go against the Mets if that was the case.
Yeah, but I think that's the game that's not. I don't know. I just like the 54, man, because that's the foreshadowing. This is a primetime game, and it's strict ESPN. If you go look at it for tomorrow.
Sure. Well, there's a 65 influence on the game. You got number 65 on the mound. New York Yankees is 65. Wheeler's coming in 6-5 on the season. And if the Yankees lose, they're 6-5 in interleague play. So
exactly. So yeah, I like that. And don't forget about, because you used to do a story on this, like Kevin Durant. 74. So Independence Day, Jesus Christ, all that. 74 for Thursday, because a couple of TV games on Thursday too. So just remember when you foreshadow and try to go ahead to Thursday, and I will put in Independence Day, I will put in 4th of July in the Gematria as well. So we can foreshadow, because I'm guaranteeing a lot of those teams that are playing on Thursday going to walk in on Independence Day or 4th of July. Gematria. That's my opinion.
Well, I wonder, something to think about, I would think about is how many teams could be on 47 wins on that day.
Yeah. What does Independence Day equal, Zach, real quick?
74.
No, I'm saying what else? The main four ciphers.
128, I forget. Independence Day. 128, 74, 277, the 59th prime, and then 70, like New York Yankees.
Yeah, 59 prime, then 59 to 17 prime, so. Yeah. Thursday, 44, 116. With the, have you talked about the Kyrie Irving KD thing? I've been busy with work.
I haven't really looked at it yet. I will.
Okay, well, the thing was, we could have bet on that. I knew years ago, Kevin Durant signed with Rock Nation, Jay-Z's sports agency. So did Kyrie Irving. So
okay, so now they're on Jay-Z's team.
Jay-Z owns Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
Jay-Z's from Brooklyn.
Part owner.
Well, yeah, but still, you know what I mean.
Right.
And if you go to his Instagram, he has the All CNI on his Instagram.
Who does? Kyrie Irving?
That's his picture. Yep. And it's mocking everybody with Jay-Z and all that. Brooklyn equals 223. So 2023, I'm gonna go put a Vegas bet probably this year, either on the Philadelphia 76ers or the Brooklyn Nets. So I'm gonna do both. So 2023, 223. So
sure.
One of those teams got win a championship that year. Another thing, what I was gonna say. Yeah, so they playing in Brooklyn. We could have put a Vegas bet on that. That's just my fault. I saw that a mile away. And then Biggie versus Tupac. So it's gonna be East versus West. You know what I mean? Brooklyn versus the Lakers. You know what I mean? Brooklyn. Biggie's from Brooklyn. Tupac, California. So that's what I'm thinking it's gonna be.
He's really from New York.
I know he's really from New York, but he's representing West Side. So it's pretty much that's what it's gonna be. So
yeah.
But other than that, man, that's all I got, man. I like the Mets today.
That 6-5 thing's what stands out the most to me. I'm going to watch to see if Wheeler gets the win. I'll be interested if it comes off that 39. But Yeah, that it makes sense that 6 and 5 for the interleague play. So, all right.
Yeah. All right, Zach.
All right.
Have a good day, man.
All right, see you. Okay. All right, that Phillies game again. The Phillies game, Keuchel can get his 65th career loss. That's what jumps out to me. Caller.
What's up, Zach? Just real quick, I wanted, before you get into the Angels game, just wanted to know, did you have any knowledge on all the Angels players' deaths in the last few years, or just in general? Like, they got a lot of players that died.
They died. The article that was written by CNN about it's not even fulfilling. I remember when I was down in Arizona, when I went to school down there, spring training, multiple summers, there were back-to-back summers, there were Angels players who died in car crashes in spring training. I think there's way more deaths connected to that team than people know. They're not even reporting them all, but I put out 2 videos on it yesterday on my main channel, and I showed how the death of this guy, death of Skaggs, was synced up with the 2009 pitcher's death, who was Skaggs was drafted that year. So,
wow, I didn't catch that video yet. That's all I wanted to know. So, do you think that Skaggs' death will, I don't know, lean for the Angels to get the win today, or haven't really thought about that yet?
I don't even want to mess with that game now because yesterday the riddle was stacked heavy against the Angels. Today's the numbers suggest that they would win. They'd get their 21st away win on the 21 date, but I'm not sure what they're going to do with that game now. So
yeah, well, that's all I had, Zach. That's all I wanted to say. I'll just let you get back to decoding, bro.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, all right, thanks, man.
Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, I think a lot of you guys who are here don't realize that I have a Gematria Effect news channel. That's where I put like the majority of my content. I know Izzy's always calling in saying, "Did you cover this?" I'm like, man, Izzy, I tell you every day I have this channel, Gematria Effect News. Yeah, I have like 4 videos on it. But yeah, I mean, today the numbers suggest the Angels could pick up their 21st win on the 21 day. So is that what's going to happen, or is it because yesterday's game got canceled, this whole thing's off? So this has happened before. I mean, you might remember early in the year there was God, who was it? Oakland, and I forget who. It was Oakland could have become like 11-8 in the game. God, I forget what it was. It was like 118 days after the pitcher's birthday, and the riddle was just so perfect for Oakland to win the game. And then the game got rained out or something. And then the next day, anyway, they ended up losing the next day. And it's like, okay, well, what did they have won yesterday? Because yesterday everything was so perfect. So, but yeah, if I didn't know about yesterday and I was just looking, I think, well, the Angels can pick up the 21st away win on the 21 day. And Suarez with a loss, he'd get his he'd be 2-2. Angels is 22. Mike Minor can get his 21st win with Texas as well. That's the one thing that can go for the Rangers today. It's 79 days after Osmus's birthday. The manager of the Angels has the 22nd prime. His team can stay on 22 away losses. The Rangers are, well, I guess that's the other thing that could make sense. If the Angels won today at Texas, they'd be 1-3 at Texas. LA 13. So, I mean, things do look a lot better for the Angels. The only thing going for the Rangers is Minor, but I just wonder about yesterday, because yesterday the riddle was stacked nicely for the Rangers. So, let me go to the division stats too. Did I forget to do that for some of these games? Hold on, I forgot to, in the phone calls, I forgot to do some of the things I've been doing. All right, Phillies and the Braves. Philadelphia's on 21 wins in the AL East. Right, let me make a note about that. The Rangers can get their 21st loss in the AL West today, too. So everything seems to line up for the everything does seem to line up for the Angels today. All but the pitcher thing. So I just worry about yesterday, though. Yesterday, the riddle was loaded for the Rangers. The Tigers, they can get their 28th win on the 28 date. Boyd can get his 28th win as well for the Tigers. So the pitcher and the team can get the 28th win. And let's see here. If Lopez lost, he'd be 4-8 on the 48 date. Okay. The White Sox are 3-2 versus the Tigers. If they lost, they'd be 3-3. Let's check the division stats here. Tigers can get their 21st loss in the division. They'd be 12-21. Ooh, and the White Sox can get the 21st win. So that contradicts the other thing. That was AL Central, right? Yeah. What's up, man?
Hey, Dex. I just want to say, it's like a lot of fishy stuff going on.
Here, wait, 1 second. Hold up, I'm gonna come right back. Hello?
Hi, is Zach available? This is Kyle Kopicki calling.
Yeah, what are you calling with?
Telephone. Richard Quinn suggested I give you a call about being on your show.
Yes, I'm gonna call you back when I'm done with my program right now. Can you give me about an hour?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, yeah, no problem. All right, sorry about that, Izzy. I was waiting for that phone call. I had to take that real quick. He was supposed to call yesterday. Oh, Izzy hung up. You can call back, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. I needed that phone call. All right. Okay, until Izzy calls back, though, we just saw that the division record completely conflicts here. Tigers can get the 21st loss and White Sox the 21st win in the division. Whoops, hit the wrong button. On the 21 date. So, well, I guess if they became 4-2, that makes some sense, too, because White Sox is 42. What else? Yeah, it's hard to go against that division record. It just seems a little bit too perfect. The White Sox dropped 2 in the series. They'd get to 44 losses. Detroit's 44. Detroit's the favorite, huh? White Sox. Yeah, when you use the rule for or what is it? There it is, 57. Hey, what's up?
Hey, yes, something like a little history about me. Growing up as a kid, I used to watch a lot of baseball games with my dad.
Right.
And I never seen something like this. I never seen where the 8th and 9th inning, all these runs coming out of nowhere.
That's what I mean. Baseball's crazy this year. They're doing it for fan excitement. It's an easy gimmick to see. They want people to watch till the end of the game.
That's a good point. And another aspect that is also going, besides the sports betting, daily fantasy football. And it's a lot of money. I mean, not football, baseball, and all sports.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what I was saying. There's just all this new fantasy and gambling and player stuff and live betting. I think it's part of the reason things are just so goofy this year. So
player stats. I mean, and these like, you know, prices for like $100,000, you know, on a prize pool where people bet in $25 and they put in their player lineups. So it's something also. So I noticed that, and this information in the beginning of the preseason, I noticed a lot of articles about the Major League Baseball trying to shorten the game to have a better, you know, because it's been becoming so long.
Well, they've already done it. They made it so you can only have so many mound visits. So they're doing things.
So but the thing is, they're scoring so many runs. I don't know. It's hard to see how that happens. You know, all these, but and not only that, I see the Yankees and the Red Sox, they travel, you know, across the pond, and they score 50 runs in 2 games.
America equals 50. The Yankees beat the team from New England. It's like a history riddle.
Mm-hmm. And I just read an article that the Yankees landed the #1 top prospect, the international pick. So
they did what?
They landed the #1 top prospect, international pick from the international.
Where's he from?
You can look that up. I don't know. You can look. Yankees top international pick. It'll come up.
Okay.
I mean, that just came out recently. Like that's very fresh.
Okay.
You saw that?
I'll look it up later. It's just.
Okay. Okay. Yankees. Okay. All right. You can look it up. But besides that, I just remember this. There's something that points out to this. I was watching this Red Sox game, and it was in the playoffs, and the pitcher, the ace Pedro Martinez, was pitching, and he and it was like late in the innings, like 7, 8, and the manager walked over to him and asked him, "Are you okay? Come on, you're the manager. You know when it's a whole team. There's no I in team." And he asked the pitcher, "Can you handle it?" And then he says, "Yes." A few pitches later, he lays one right down the middle, and guess what happened?
You're talking about the Yankee series that just happened, right?
No, this happened a while ago.
It just happened in the Yankees Red Sox series too. It was obvious they should have pulled the pitcher, and he ended up giving up 6 more runs. It's just like, I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy how things are happening right now. And now they're adding. They make things more complicated. They're adding an opener. So not even there's no starting pitcher. It's an opener who pitches for 1 or 2 innings, and then you have your starter.
Right. That's the other new thing in baseball. Right.
I mean, so they're adding a lot of twists to the game.
Sure. Yeah. It's a different game. All right. Appreciate it, Uzi. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Okay. All right, hold on. We got another call here. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Yeah, the name of that prospect is called The Martian.
The Martian?
Yeah. Yeah, The Martian. That's what they call him. I guess he's some big time. Like he was trying to say.
Do you know what country he's from?
Oh, hold on. I got to put you on. Oops, I'm sorry. What's that, sir?
You gotta mute the phone and just talk to me through the phone.
Yeah, I just did that. I'm sorry. Yes, his name is the Yankees signed some top international prospect today, and they call him The Martian.
Okay, I'll have to look it up more. Huh.
Oh, we want you on that. I mean, they put that on the. It's right on ESPN on the homepage.
All right, let me see. Yankees, The Martian.
I mean, Zach, man, these Yankees win like 70% of the time. How could anyone? How can we bet against them? They are like ripping it up right now.
Well, we identified things were up with them early in the season. When Aaron Judge went on the IL, he was the 13th player, and when you write out 13, it equals 99. We're like, okay, where are they going with this? And then once they did that trade with the Mariners that was synced up with the World Series, I mean, I'll be shocked if the Yankees aren't in the World Series. So
seems like it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, right on the homepage for ESPN, it's the 1, 2, 3, it's the fourth story down on the right hand side.
The Martian. Oh, whoops, I spelled it wrong. Let's see. The Martian. 109. The Martian equals 109 like Yankees.
Well, okay. Well, maybe that's why you got picked up by them. But, and I think the guy.
And 80.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And like I said, Paxton is 3-1 away. I mean, he's a beast away, so we'll see.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. So the Martian equals 80 and 109. So Yankees is 80, 109. Whoop. The Martian. Oh, I guess it's 109. Oh, I know where it's 80. When you use the rule for E. The Martian. I see what they did though. Okay, I'll look more at that later. I think that's going to help us with today's game. So Astros are making a debut here with a new pitcher, Urquidy. Oh, two calls came at the same time, and when it does that, Arizona, I'm going to call you right back. They both came at the same time. I answered yours first, but when that happens, then I can't go to the speaker button because the other calls come through. All right, what's up?
So I was just going to say, I know you're doing the stream, so I want to keep it really short. Just as a reminder today, if you still want to do that call with him.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever the stream's done.
At noon Pacific, right?
Yeah, or, I mean, it could be a little bit after that because I'll be on the call with him for a while.
Okay, maybe like 1 Pacific?
Yeah, I mean, it would probably work fine. But just ping me on Skype whenever you're done.
Okay, will do. All right, thanks, man.
Bye.
All right, let me call Arizona back. What? Why doesn't it show that I missed a call from him? All right, calling Arizona back.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, let me turn this thing off, man. I'm at my case right now. Sometimes it plays through, man.
Did you call it the cage?
You there?
Yeah. Did you call it your cage?
What were you saying, Zach?
What did you say? Did you say I'm in my cage right now?
Case.
Oh, case. Got it.
You could call it that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I am on the slave ship. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, what's going on?
No, man, I was just calling in because I haven't really been playing baseball probably for a week or so. Yesterday I was off, so I listened to the Decode, and I played a little bit. I didn't play a lot. I won a little money yesterday, but the pitchers' alignment, I know you said early in the year those pitchers, when they align,
right,
they weren't hitting.
Right.
But yesterday we saw that with the Giants, and you know the two parlay. I played like $2 25 parlays, and they lost because the Cubs got blown up, and the Rangers game didn't play. And one of the parlays I had the O's, right, because that was the one game you liked. But when I saw that O's game not go through, then I'm like, oh, I just went back with it and put a straight bet on the Giants, and I got them at like plus 150 something.
Nice.
So it seems to me you just gotta, this baseball you have to be really careful with it. And Johnny and I were talking about it, and I said maybe if you only play like 2 or 3 games a week, if you're putting the work in, you just can't get wrapped up in playing all these games, you know, because it's just it's not working, right? We see that it's not working, but if you're picky and choosy about it, you can still jump ahead at this. You just got to be very careful with it.
Sure, it's like we'll never know because the game didn't happen yesterday. But I mean, that Rangers Angels game looked like such a good riddle. So it's just like you got to be kidding me.
But with the pitcher, like with that Giants thing,
Samardzija, yeah, his record was too perfect.
Yeah, he got, and that's what I'm looking for. If you see anything like that, just say, hey, I like the pitcher's alignment today, and then I'm going to take a second look at it because those are the games I'm looking for.
So
when you get in alignment with that pitcher. So and what he got like his 74th win. He stayed on 99 losses, right?
San Diego Padres, and so that was his total record, and then his record with the Giants, also the win and loss equals San Diego and Padres. So yeah, it was perfect.
Look at the score of that game, Zach. Look at the score of that game.
By the way, while I'm looking this up, today's pitcher thing that really stands out is Keuchel can get his 65th loss, and Philly and 65 keep hitting. He's facing Philadelphia.
Yeah. So you think Keuchel's got an alignment today? To lose or win?
Keuchel with a loss would get his 65th loss. Philadelphia's 65.
So that 65 number hits with Philly a lot. But look at the score of the game in that Giants game yesterday. You see the score of that game?
13-2.
Yep. United States of America equals 132. He got a 74th career win, and he stayed on 99.
Yeah, that's interesting too. I was also thinking 15
that's exactly
runs.
What they're doing there. That's exactly what they're doing, man.
Yeah, 15 runs also on the 47-day numerology, 15
time. And I also noticed yesterday you did some good work on, that pitcher for the Angels. Are you still trying to hunt for the National League team? Because if it is the Yankees, if you can figure out who that other team's going to be, that's where we want. That's where we want to play.
So I'm still leaning Philadelphia because in 2009, which this riddle's connected to, that's what the World Series was that year, Yankees and Phillies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see, man, because something's going to happen here pretty soon because you got the trade deadline's coming up.
Right. I think the Phillies are going to play a lot better.
That's why I'm just going to kind of hold out because it makes me wonder too with this guy for the Giants yesterday having this stellar game. And that's the thing, when you know that there's a pitcher that aligns, you can hit these things. Like yesterday, I was paying attention because I didn't have to work, so it's much easier. Well, even with live betting, I didn't do a live bet on that game, but you can tell. So you're like, man, this guy has a great alignment yesterday. Well, you watch the first 2 or 3 innings, and he's striking guys out. They're not scoring runs. Boom. Then you go in with a live bet on it, because it was a scoreless game until the 4th inning, and then that's when the Giants put runs on the board.
I see.
But something like that, you can probably tell pretty early in the game, especially if the pitcher has a really nice alignment. That's probably what they're going to go with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, man. I mean, the pitchers I know the pitcher thing doesn't always fall in line, but if you're just really picky and choosy about when these pitchers have a really good alignment, I think those are the ones you just got to stay with. And maybe the other games they're just fucking around with them. I don't. They're obviously doing something. Baseball, you got so many games in a season. I don't know. Maybe there's just a lot of different things they can do as opposed to football. You only got 16 games, so I don't think there's too much messing with
exactly.
Like this baseball shit, man.
Exactly.
It's hard. I've been telling Johnny for weeks. It's like I'm not even going to play. And yesterday I was bored. I was off of work. I listened to the Decode. I'm like, okay, I'll just. So I put $125 out there. I lost $2 $25 parlay, and then I took $75 and put it on the Giants because I'm like, that's it. The big Orioles one can go through, but I was like, oh, one of these is going to go through. And that's just how this works.
Right.
Because we're always trying to pop these parlays.
Right.
When you put the Cubs in, everybody put the Cubs in their parlays. And. That's what they do. They're just parlay poppers.
Well, the game of the day yesterday didn't even get played. Yeah, the game of the day didn't get played is what sucks. But
yeah, and that one. But still, that being said, I mean, you still had the Giants yesterday. Like I said, that was like plus 150 something. So if you had straight bet on the Giants, you probably did okay yesterday.
Right.
That's what I did. I just attacked that game after the other ones. After other ones I didn't hit them.
Right. Yeah. His record was just too perfect. It was like his whole career was scripted for that moment. Then he has one of his best games ever.
I'm looking for stuff like that, because sometimes the date numerology is good, other times it's iffy.
Right.
So I don't want iffy games. I want more games that are like 80-90%. And if I play, you know, if you can only find 2, 3, 4 games a week like that, that's fine. That's just a little extra income coming in, you know?
This is true.
Sit there and play these games every day. You're not going to win that way at this.
This is
it's
true.
It's very difficult, man. You got to be very picky and choosy with this stuff. And like I said, we talk about it all the time. The futures are what to play. Those are where you really want to put most of your effort. So these futures, because that stuff, they're not fucking with that stuff. That stuff's already determined. They're not going to change that.
You get anything on Sabatini for the golf tournament?
Who?
Sabatini.
For which one? Was that the last one or this one?
That was this past week's tournament. Him and Duffner were the two guys I like to place.
Like I said, I haven't really been following it much for a week or so. And was he the guy that was the last one entered?
No. That was the guy who won the tournament. But Sabatini finished third. He looked good to play Sabatini.
Oh, so that would have been a good place bet, maybe like top 5 or something.
Yeah, he was 50-1.
Oh, he was a 50-1, so he would have paid very good to just finish in the top 5 then even.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, no, your golf looks like your golf. Maybe that's
it's better than baseball, that's for sure, man. Golf. It's a whole lot better than baseball, yeah.
Sometimes I wish you would just, you know, briefly go through the baseball, do your thing. Don't spend too much time with us or anything, and just go through and say, hey, this is what I like today. And be done with it, you know, and then focus more on something else.
Well, the way I feel is I have to keep digging through all this stuff to figure out where the consistent pattern is, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like it's there. So.
Yeah, and a few weeks ago, I was catching on to that. I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna sit back and watch this. If I see a game I like, I'll play it, but I'm not gonna get caught up in trying to, you know, play these parlays and these games every day, because this shit just ain't. They're doing something with it, man. It's just not consistent.
Yeah.
All of it. It's just. I hate these leagues, man. I can't stand that game yesterday. I had it on for a few minutes. And who's that big slugger for the Giants? He's been there for a while. I think he's their catcher.
I forget. I know you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. He's a right-handed batter. The guy that was pitching to him, you can just tell what he's trying to do. When you're aware of the games are all fixed and scripted, but like the first one he missed, the ball hit like the outer part of the plate, and he was trying to chop it. He was trying to chop the ball like down to the third baseman, and he missed. And then on the second one, he did the same thing, and then he got the perfect chop. So you can tell these guys, all they're doing is just playing pepper with each other. That's all it is.
It is. It is indeed.
That's totally what it is. They're just sitting there playing pepper.
Did you hear what they were saying about Game 1 of the Yankees game? Why there were so many runs in London?
No.
Oh, they were talking about how it's because the stadium creates this wind drift, so the pitchers, they couldn't get the movement on their ball. I was just like, can they shut the fuck up, man? I mean,
you know, man, it's so irritating, man. Listening to some of these guys, like yesterday, talking about this poor kid that they killed. Obviously, they killed this kid. You know, where's this kid at? Is he still alive or is he really dead?
I think he's dead, man.
They killed his
What's
ass.
the point of having him fake his death? Nobody even knows who any of these baseball players are. But, yeah, I have a feeling his death was planned from the moment he got called up, because it's all synced up with the same guy who died, or the pitcher who died in 2009 for the Angels.
Yeah, it has to be, man. It has to be. Just another perfect ritual, man.
Yeah?
By the numbers.
Yeah? It's sick, man.
Hey, who you like? Who you like in that men's tennis? Not to win, but I know you like the guy that I know you like to win. But who do you think he might play?
Well, I'm glad that Greek guy got eliminated yesterday, because the Raonic matchup would be perfect. That's what I was saying. If it's Raonic, because it's 199 days after Raonic's birthday, the championship, and Novak Djokovic equals 199. So, but that's the other thing about Raonic. I noticed that all the press yesterday on Raonic is that he has a bad back and he's probably going to struggle in the tournament. I'm like, is this some misdirection shit so nobody bets on him? Because everyone's publishing about his bad back.
Yeah, shit was hilarious yesterday. That 15-year-old girl. It looked like a little boy to me, man. If you guys look at that, go back and look at that. I bet you anything that's a little boy, 15 years old. I mean, you could just tell there's something right with that whole thing.
Well,
I'm like, how sick is this stuff, man? You know, that little kid was just screwed with from day one just to do this, just to be in this moment.
They were born March 13th.
History.
Born March 13th, 13/3. It's the 133rd Wimbledon.
Who was? She was or he was?
The kid.
The kid?
Yeah.
The whole thing is just a freaking joke, man. I mean, what a joke that the whole thing is.
Yeah.
Complete joke.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just baseball, man. You see a pitcher alignment, like, you know, a pitcher's alignment, I'll play those. But anything outside of that, man, I'm just kind of sitting back and watching.
Sure.
Just disturbing, man.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
But don't get too frustrated at it, man. I mean, that's what they want. They want you to get pissed off.
Well, I mean, I'm going to get frustrated. That's just me. But
well, I'm the same way, man. That's why I just said, you know what? I have to stop because you got to be smarter at this than them. Because
right. Well, so that's what so what I'm asking myself, should I do is, so one way I could do this, I could just scan the games and see where the date numerology is, and then investigate those games to see if there's a pitcher alignment. But I feel like, you know, to keep things going in the day, there's got to be more stuff to look at. So WNBA doesn't look like it's good. It doesn't look like it has any consistency. I don't know the team history record. Those stats aren't out there, so it's hard to do that. MLS is something I guess I could look at, but
you know, to me, I don't care because it's all a joke.
Right.
You know, if there's something out there, I'll play it. You know, make a few bucks. That's all I'm looking at.
There's just so many draws. There's so many draws in soccer. That's why I'm like,
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, you know, just keep doing what you do, man.
Sure. Well, the other part I can think about doing is packing it in until football season, but
yeah.
So.
Right.
All right, man.
Hey, man, I don't care what you do. I'm supporting this movement and this network, man, because I want to see it get bigger, man.
Well, there's not a lot of people like you is the problem. Most people want winning picks every single day or they're out of here. So
because they're not going to find that anywhere. You know, you got to be disciplined at this. You have to be very disciplined.
Sure.
Just like anything else, you know, you do in your life.
Sure. Yeah, you're right, man.
Exercise, all this shit. It takes discipline.
You're absolutely right. All right, man.
All right, Zach.
Appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
See you, Ron.
All right, see you. Yeah, but as you can see, because I had a bad June, we've lost a third of the people here. And I don't blame a third of those people who left, but they're going to miss out because, you know, one bad month and a bad year, that's called being short-sighted, but I know how people are living in the moment. So also, I mean, the other thing is the people who are new here, it's a toxic environment. You go on the Patreon, all it is trolls posting all day. So that doesn't make it any fun either, but we know why the saboteurs are here. Okay, so this Astros and Rockies game, I don't see a lot for this game. I'm just kind of, I don't know. The Astros got a guy making his debut, and then the pitcher for the Rockies, it's his 131st day of his age, which is the 32nd prime, and Houston's 32, and the Astros are on 32 losses. But none of those are any real clear variables. The Rockies' next win is their 83rd in the series. Colorado's 83. Would make sense to pick that up in Colorado. Doesn't have to be today. 2 days from now, we'll have 23 date numerology. That if they dropped the first two and picked it up there, that would make some sense, actually. 83, the 23rd prime. But never mind, it's a 2-game series. So that's not going to work. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that one. The Indians and the Royals. Let's see here. Bauer, if he lost, would be 6-7. Cleveland Indians is 67. Junis is 4-7 on the year. If he lost, he'd be 4-8 on the 48 date. Plus Cleveland is 48. Bauer, it's his 167th day of his age, which is the 39th prime. And his team can get the 39th loss. Whoop. So it's 71 days after Francona's birthday. The 20th prime, his team's on 20 away wins and losses. But yeah, there's definitely some things going against Bauer. But just the fact that the Indians get the 21st away win or loss on the 21 date makes me not really want to mess with that game. So the Twins and the A's, the Twins pitcher's next win is 58. Oakland's 58. So is Twins, actually. They're both 58. Or actually, is Twins 85? I'm getting dyslexic. Twins is 85, not 58. But Oakland is 58. So his next win is 58, and he's 10-3 on the season. Mangden for Oakland is 2-1. If he lost, he'd be 2-2. Oakland's 22. Twins is 22. It's 97 days after Odorizzi's birthday, the 25th prime. The only 25 on the board is that the A's can get their 25th win. And this is the first game between these teams for this year. Last year, the A's won 5-2 versus Minnesota. Of course, Minnesota's 52. Hold on. I realized there were some things I forgot to do in these other games. I get off track when I start taking the calls. Hold on. I got to go back and review the division stats for these games. All right. So I did that one. That was the 21 thing. I need the interleague play here for the Astros and the Rockies. Houston could fall to 4-8 in interleague play today if they lost. And Rockies, they could become 8-4. It's interesting. They could also become 7-5 in his. Check something here. Houston Astros. Houston Astros is 75. Huh. Tough. Let me add that to the notes real quick. Whoop. Yeah, stuff. Okay. And the Indians and Royals. Indians and Royals. AL Central 18, 15, 14, 22. If the Royals didn't lose today, they'd go into tomorrow at 22 days, still on 22 losses. Let's see, 31, 41, 23, 33, 27. Royals can get their 28th win versus the AL. Date. That would go along with Bauer's incriminating stats. Okay. And Twins and A's. Twins versus the AL West, 14-6. AL Central, 8-1. This is the Minnesota Twins, 8-1. right. Well, there's nothing that really jumps out about those stats. 36, 50, 20, 26, 21, 41, 15, 36. All right, yeah, nothing's really standing out about their AL stats. But Odorizzi, I mean, would be a fitting opponent to get the 58th win over. Oakland is 58, so it's the most standout thing there. And then again, Megden, it would make sense if he lost, being 2-2, because Oakland's 22, Twins is 22. All right, Diamondbacks and Dodgers. Let me see here. The Diamondbacks could stay on 21 losses. The Dodgers with a win would be 4-1 at home. LA 41. It's probably the most standout thing there about this game. Becoming 4-1 at home. Stripling could also become 4-2 on the season. Arizona's 42. Diamondbacks is 42. That's a number that keeps playing. But the Dodgers are monster favorites. But yeah, being 4-1 at home makes sense for the Dodgers. And staying at 79 losses at home going into tomorrow would make sense too. That's the 22nd prime. Tomorrow's got the 22 date. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Real quick, I just want to let you know the story came out about the Mets. Mets sorry for having 2 living alumni in Memorial. So, in the latest embarrassment for the New York Mets, the team has publicly apologized for 2 living members of the 1969 World Series championship team who were included in a video montage of dead players during the 50th anniversary celebration.
Huh.
So, and the thing is, this has happened, and then they played the Yankees. It just happened like today. The news came out.
Well, it looks like the news came out 2 days ago. The story broke 2 days ago.
Okay. So I didn't see the article today. But I don't know, maybe there's a connection. This is New York versus New York.
Yeah, that is interesting though. That is a weird thing. So yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, it's just like business. Isn't there any check and balances? I mean, how can they? Oh, is so and so alive? Oh, we got not one, but twice, 2 players. I mean, I could give credit once, but 2. All right, that's all I got.
They were 2 guys that hardly played at all. But yeah, that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks. Okay. All right. But yeah, the Dodgers being 4-1 at home and their pitcher becoming 4-2, that makes sense to me. The Giants and the Padres. The Giants can pick up their 48th loss on a 48 date. Hold on, I forgot to do the NL record. All right, Dodgers. 12. Arizona can pick up their 28th loss in the NL West on the 28th date too. All right, there's that. And then Giants and Padres. Again, the Giants can get the 48th loss on the 48th date. I do expect the Giants to win another one in this series. It makes sense for them to get to 38 because San Diego's 38 and so is Giants. Doesn't have to be today, though. Let me see the NL West stats here. The Giants are on 21 wins versus the NL West. The Padres are 16 and 18. 19, 35, 21, 39, 10, 31, 16, 40. Okay. I guess the one thing about beat is the team's going for 38th win. San Diego equals 38. Giants going for 38th win. But this is the most standout thing, that the Giants get their 48th loss on the 48th date. Yeah, I wish there was a little bit more for that game. Okay. The Cardinals and the Mariners, what jumps out about this game is that the Mariners are 6 and 9 versus the Cardinals. Hold on. Did I write this backwards? Let me check something real quick. I gotta double check this real quick. Seattle Mariners, St. Louis Cardinals. So it's the 16th game, and yeah, the Mariners are 6 and 9 versus the Cardinals and 4 and 2 at home. That is right. So the conflicting thing here is if they lose, they'd be 4 and 3 at home. Mariners is 43. It's their 43rd season. If they won, the Cardinals would become 9 and 7 versus the Mariners. Mariners is 97 as well. So it's like, well, which one of those is going to play? Here, let's look at the interleague records here. The Cardinals are 4 and 6. If they lost, they'd be 4 and 7 up in Seattle on the 47th parallel. But does Mariners equal 56 too? God, it does. All right. Oops, 4 and 6. And how about the Mariners? The Mariners are 2 and 5. St. Louis is 25. If they lost, they'd be 2 and 6. If they NL does equal 26. If they won, they'd be 3 and 5. Can look at this. If this is a 2-game series too, I'm realizing if this is a 2-game series and the Cardinals win both, they'd have 19 away wins. It's a 3-game series though. If Cardinals win 2 of 3 in series, they'll have 19 away wins. So if I was going to make any bet on this series, it would be that the Cardinals would win 2 out of 3 to get to 19. That seems likely. It is the Mariners' 43rd season. If they lost, they'd be 4-3 at home. But that 97 plays with them too. They did win their first game of the year 9-7. Then again, they were playing the opponent Athletics, which equals 97 too. 97 is the 25th prime. St. Louis is 25 also. God, tough. So I do think it makes sense, though, for the Cardinals to get those 19 away wins in Seattle, the only city that jumps to 19. T-Mobile Park, 67, the 19th prime. So, again, just to scan and back through things real quick. The Marlins got some riddles today. The most condemning thing against the Marlins is Patrick Corbin. If he wins, he's 8-5. Whoops, I'm supposed to say Miami Marlins. Miami Marlins is 85, not Florida Marlins. Just verify it real quick. Miami Marlins, 85. Okay, there we go. Call them the Florida Marlins forever. All right, so if Corbin did win for the Nationals, he'd be 8-5. Washington's a big favorite. It's 73 days after Don Mattingly's birthday, the manager of the Marlins. That's the 21st prime. You have a 21-date numerology. If his team upset, both teams would stay on the 21. The Marlins would stay on 21 away losses. The Nationals, 21 home wins. And the Nationals could also get their 223rd loss versus the Marlins. 223 is the 48th prime. You have a 48 date. They could also get their 103rd home loss versus the Marlins. 103 is the 27th prime. Today can be written 2/7 like 27. Caller?
Sure. Hey, what's going on, Zach? I'm not in the live stream right now, but I was curious about the pitcher who died from the Angels.
Are you there?
Has any, could be a clue for the World Series? Because I know in one of your older videos you were talking about number 27 in the Yankees.
Big clue, because in 2009, when this happened with the Angels last time, and the year this guy was drafted is the year that the Yankees and Phillies met in the World Series, which is already what I'm liking.
Okay. On Wednesday I was trying to ask you if you could possibly find that old video that you did on the Yankees back and
I can't find it, man. I don't know what video it is.
You know? Okay. Well, if I can find it for you, I'll definitely send it to your email or try and find it for you somewhere because it's a great video. It's an awesome decode that you did about the Yankees making it to the World Series.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see any videos that I had on the Yankees about that. So.
Okay. I mean, I think honestly that might have been on one of your older channels that got deleted by YouTube.
It might have been on one of the channels that got taken down and I didn't back it up in time. It's possible.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I try to back up every video, but there might be some that slip through the cracks. So anyway, the Marlins got a chance to upset here. They'd be a nice payout. The best thing for the Nationals, in my opinion, is Corbin becoming 8-5. The Cubs and the Pirates, if the Cubs didn't lose anymore on this series, they'd stay on 34 losses versus the National League. Pirates is 34. Musgrove could stay on 28 career losses on the 28 date. Not a whole lot to go off of. And yesterday the Cubs had a pretty decent riddle and got smashed. So, oh my goodness, it's Jeremy White, man. What's up?
How's it going, Zach?
Hey, good to hear from you.
I'm just on my lunch break. I was going to see if you could look at that soccer game right quick, the USA versus England.
Oh, it's the captain's birthday today. It's the captain of the USA team's birthday.
Oh, the captain of the USA?
Yeah, I said at the beginning of this thing, I like the U.S. to be in the championship because it's on 7-7 and the United States is 77, so I'm just going to stick to my guns on that one.
Yeah, I was just going to make sure there wasn't any kind of riddle that popped up. And Something we overlooked or anything?
Well, it's possible, but I just like the United States being in the thing on 7-7. I mean, that just made too much sense to me. So.
Yeah.
And it is the captain's birthday, Alex Morgan, if you look it up. So.
Oh yeah, maybe she'll get some goals.
Well, think about what her birthday present would be: go into the championship. So.
Yeah. There's probably some kind of historical riddle about July 4th being in 2 days in America versus England.
Right.
Like the Independence Day or something.
And you just had the Yankees whoop up on New England, scoring 50 runs, you know, in the UK. So I think it's all part of the symbolism.
Yeah. And since today is 7-2 or 2-7, and that guy just died at age 27.
Yeah.
If he's to the Yankees, I don't know.
I think it is, because that happened in 2009 to the Angels, and that was the year of the Yankees-Phillies World Series, which is what I'm leaning towards right now. So.
Yeah, they were America's pretty big favorites, like -200, -300, somewhere in there.
Is that for today?
Yeah, it starts in like an hour.
Yeah, I said after that Thailand 13-0 game, I said that's the riddle right there. I said it's just like how Thailand cave thing was the riddle for the Men's World Cup last year. I said that's got to be it for the U.S. So.
Yeah.
By the way, Alex Morgan turned 30 today. United States equals 113, the 30th prime. So. I think it's looking good there.
Alrighty, I think that sounds pretty good.
I think soccer equals 27 too. The way we call it, soccer. Is that right? Soccer. Yeah, it is 27. She's got the 2-7 birthday.
Oh yeah, soccer equals 99, like how 13 equals 99.
Yeah, those 13 goals. Yeah. Does she wear number 13? I think she does. Yeah, she does.
She's got to get a goal today.
You would think so, or at least her team go to the championship. So.
Yeah. Well, alrighty. I'll let you get back to the summary.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Talk to you later.
Later. Yeah. Okie dokie. Yeah. Cubs Pirates, man. I'm just usually when the first game goes south and it's a good read, it's a sign to stay away from the series. So learn that lesson. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays. This is another game where the upset could come through. The Blue Jays wow, this line is shrinking. More money's going on the Blue Jays, huh? So the thing is, David Price is dominant against the Blue Jays. He's 22-3 for his career. That's hard to go against. But if he lost today, he'd be 5-3. Boston Red Sox is 53. If Thornton won, he'd be 3-5. The reflection. It's 257 days after Cora's birthday. That's the 55th prime. The Red Sox could fall to 5-5 versus the Blue Jays with a loss. David Price equals 55. And if the Blue Jays won, they'd be 2-3 at home this year versus the Red Sox. Blue Jays is 23. So there's a number of riddles on the board for the Blue Jays. It's just that historical precedent of Price going 22-3. His next win versus the Blue Jays will be 23. Blue Jays is 23. It doesn't have to come today, but I think it's interesting. The line's going south. That means the money's going on Toronto. All right, the Orioles and the Rays. If the O's lose, they'd be 2-5 versus Tampa. If the Orioles lose, they'd be 2-5 versus Tampa Bay for the year. Tampa Bay's 25. The Orioles' next win, though, is their 25th. If the Orioles won today, Tampa Bay would fall to 4-3 versus the O's. Tampa Bay raises 43. O's next win a season is 25. Keep in mind. So Tampa Bay's got that line in that territory where it normally doesn't go the other way. I'd probably steer clear and just keep looking for the game where it makes sense for the Orioles to pick up that 25th win. I'd wait till you get a one-way read on that. The Yankees and the Mets, I think these teams are going to split this series again. They're 1-1 against each other this year. If the Mets won this first game of the series, they would get the 39th win. They could also get it tomorrow. That's the big New York number. The most standout stat about this game is that the Yankees are 6-4 versus the National League this year, and if they lose, they'd be 6-5. New York Yankees 65. You got number 65 on the mound. Wheeler comes in 6-5. Things seems like things are pointing that way. Wheeler's on 39 career wins. New York's 39. Caller called in earlier and said that Tuesday equals 40, which is true. Could get his 40th win on Tuesday. But it's also 33 days after Wheeler's birthday, the New York number. So maybe that's pointing to they get this New York battle today. But that's 6-5. I mean, that makes the most sense. It's also the Yankees' 83rd game, and if they lose, they stay at 23 away wins, 83 the 23rd prime. So the Yankees' next away win is 24, and I forgot to finish the note here. Mets equals 24, so I imagine they're going to get that 24th win against the Mets. The safe way to play this series might be to wait and see today, and then expect the split tomorrow, but I'd be inclined to take the risk on the Mets today. They're an underdog, and the Yankees fall into 6-5. Again, the big New York Yankees number, it's likely. Remember, New York Yankees is 74 if you use the rule for S, but that 65 is a bigger number with them historically. So let me see something real quick about Citi Field. Let me see if it's on the 74th meridian. Part of New York's on the 74th meridian. Citi Field's on the 73rd. Okay. Okay. The Brewers and the Reds. Let me see. The Reds are on 37 losses versus the National League. If they didn't lose any more on the series, they'd stay there. Milwaukee's 37. Brewers, if they lost today, would be 4-1 at Cincinnati this year. Kind of like 41, the 13th prime. M's the 13th letter, what they wear on their hats. Anderson for the Brewers, his next loss with Milwaukee's 26. Reds is 26. To me, more things line up for the Reds here. But again, I'm kind of just gauging baseball right now. So baseball. Okay, let's see. Phillies and Braves. There's been a consistent pattern this year with pitchers and 65 and becoming 6-5 facing Philadelphia. And the way that plays today is if Keuchel loses, he gets his 65th loss. Philadelphia equals 65. Keuchel, if he loses at home, will get his 65th loss against Philly. Nola could also get his 48th win, and Atlanta's 48. He'd also become 7-2. Whoa. Whoa, that's too bright. 7-2 on 7-2. So Nola, you know, he could be like the date. His record could be like the date if he won. Let's see. The Phillies are on 21 wins versus the AL East. That's the only thing I could see going against them, staying at that 21 on the 21 date. Yeah, that 65 pattern, I mean, it's been consistent, so it's tough to go against. Okay. Suarez, Minor. Okay, so if Suarez for the Angels loses, he's 2-2. Angels is 22. Minor for the Rangers, if he were to win, he'd get his 21st win with Texas on the 21 date. If he lost, though, he'd be 8-5, and Los Angeles Angels is 85. It's 79 days after the Angels manager's birthday. The 22nd prime Angels is 22. They're on 22 away losses. The Rangers are 3-0 at home versus LA this year. If they won, they'd be 4-0. LA does equal 4. I should always note that. It also equals 13. So if they lost, they'd be, from the Angels' perspective, they'd be 1-3 at the Rangers. The Angels can pick up their 21st away win on the 21 date, and the Rangers can pick up their 21st loss in the AL West. So, again, the Rangers had a good riddle to win yesterday, but the game got canceled, so that's what makes me nervous about today. The Rangers can also stay on 28 home wins on 28 date. That's the other thing. I mean, things do look better for the Angels today, that's for sure. Did I just misspeak? Things look better for the Angels today is what I meant to say. The Tigers and the White Sox, what's going for the Tigers is they could pick up their 28th win on the 28 date, and Boyd can get his 28th career win. But in the division record, in light of the 21 date numerology, the White Sox can get their 21st win versus the AL Central, and the Tigers can get their 21st loss in the AL Central. So it's interesting how perfect that is with those two teams. The White Sox are 2-0 at home versus the Tigers. Again, it's a 21 date. What's up, man?
Hey, breaking news right now.
Oh, excuse me.
One of the top players from the U.S. soccer women's team not playing.
Megan Rapinoe, the one who's been beefing with Donald Trump?
Yes.
Really?
And I don't know, something fishy going on. I mean, last minute thing, 9 the lineup.
Yeah,
So
that's concerning.
And then there's this other thing. Last month was just the gay pride month, and she's kind of very, very vocal about that.
Okay, let me see how many days it is after her birthday.
So I don't know. I mean, and this is just happening. This is how a bunch of people in the desert make the whole city and make lots of money, aka Vegas, and they just keep raking in because stuff like this happens, and the public has no clue and they just pour money. Last minute, the players out.
Are you sure she's not playing?
What?
Are you sure she's not playing?
Well,
I don't see any headline about this.
Well, look, it says ESPN report not in US. I just typed her name on the Google. I just got a tweet from someone, and I googled it. Report not in US starting lineup versus England. ESPN 8 minutes ago.
All right, yeah, here. Rapinoe not in U.S. starting lineup versus England. Let's see.
So, and she's a very good player. I gotta admit.
Yeah, she scored the first goal of the last game. Yeah, she's one of their best players.
Hmm?
Yeah, she scored 5 goals in 4 matches.
Hmm? So I'm gonna let you work with that. That's all I got.
All right, appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Yeah, the only thing that's worried me about the women's team, since I said I liked them to be there on 7-7, is when these headlines started with her and Trump. It's like, okay, where's this going? Is Trump going to defeat another women? He's going to defeat the whole U.S. women's team. But, man, hold on here. If U.S. was going up against Russia, I'd be more worried about it. But I guess he was just in the U.K. Hold on. Let me see here. See how it lines up with her birthday. Oh, well, look at that. It's almost her birthday, too. Her birthday's 5-7, so England. She's not starting against England with the 5-7 birthday. Okay. Oh, and that's all. I just noticed England's also 30, and what's her face just turned 30 years old to face England today. England switched up their goalkeeper. So they didn't explain why. They didn't say she's injured. She's just not starting. So Kristen Press is starting. A 30-year-old. Okay, so we got a 30-year-old. How old was Rapinoe? 33. England's 33 as well. December 29th. So what is that like? Today's 185 days after her birthday. Is that right? Yeah, it'd be 185 days after. Let me see her name. Kristen Press. Okay, I'm still just sticking with the thought. 7-7. How are they not going to be there? All right. The Astros and Rockies. Again, if Houston did lose today, they'd be 4-8 in interleague play on a 48 date. It's 48 days after Hinch's birthday. There's just not a lot to go off of, though, with that one. If the Rockies lost, they'd be 7-5 in interleague play. Houston Astros 75. Yeah, I'm not messing with that. The Indians-Royals games, definitely iffy. There's some incriminating things going against Bauer. He could fall to 6-7. Cleveland Indians 67. Junis could also fall to 4-8 on a 48 date. It's the 167th day of Bauer's age, which is the 39th prime, and his team's next loss is 39. That's why that's so interesting. And the 21 can go either way though for the Indians. There must have been nothing in the division, or I would have wrote something down. Yeah. If the Royals did win, they'd stay on 22 losses going into tomorrow. Just make that note. Okay. Getting the Twins and A's game. Odorizzi, his next career win is 58. Oakland's 58. Be a fitting place to get it. Mangden, if he lost, he'd be 2-2 on the year. Oakland's 22, so was Twins. And I don't think there was anything else that was jumping out about this game. Oh, I see something I missed. There was something I missed. Twins can get 28th away win on 28 date. Did I put that up here with my other notes? Oh, I did have it up. Okay, I just forgot to write it down there. So yeah, you got a pitcher and a date numerology connection that go with the Twins, and nothing really in favor of the A's. The Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. Again, if the Dodgers win at home, they're 4-1 at home. LA's 41. That's versus the Diamondbacks this year. And if Stripling wins, he's 4-2 on the season. Arizona 42, Diamondbacks 42. Dodgers are a big favorite, but the riddle's there. And then the Giants and the Padres. The Giants could pick up their 48th loss on the 48 date. There's not a whole lot else to go off of. Giants' next win, though, is 38. And that is the overlap number. San Diego is 38. And Giants is 38. And Yeah, the Cardinals-Mariners one's tough. If the Mariners lose, they'll be 4-3 at all time. Oh, you know what? As I say that, I forgot about how 43 keeps playing with St. Louis this year too. Yeah. So anyway, if the Mariners do lose at home, they're 4-3 at home all time against St. Louis. Again, Mariners is 43, St. Louis is 43. It's the Mariners' 43rd season. The Cardinals are 4-6 versus the AL this year. If they won, they'd be 5-6. Mariners is 56. If they lost, they'd be 4-7 up on the 47th parallel. And if the Cardinals do win 2 or 3 in series, they'll get to 19 away wins. Seattle's 19. I think that's probably going to happen. So Seattle 19. T-Mobile Park 67, 19th prime. So, yeah. I'll be watching to see if Keuchel does get that 65th loss to continue the 65 trend with pitchers in Philadelphia. Mets-Yankees game should be interesting too. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to say about the Mets-Yankees game. Forgot to put it here in the notes. I mentioned it when we first started, but I never updated the note. That means it's his 51st day of his age too. So it's the manager's 51st day of his age for the Mets. Mets equals 51. And if the Mets won, they'd be 51-70 versus the Yankees all time. Mets is 51. New York Yankees is 70. So there'd be some symbolism in that. Yeah. All right, but leave it there. Be back tomorrow with the golf decode. And yeah, if you guys want to give your feedback on if it's even worth investing the time in baseball like we have, I mean, just let me know. I mean, I'm not going to quit unless you guys all weigh in that you don't think it's worth the time, but part of me just keeps thinking, man, there's probably something better I could be doing rather than trying to overcome these hurdles with baseball, because in a way it feels like they cannot be overcome. Again, we're trying to expose the way they're rigging this, and we know they're rigging it. It's just that they seem to they shift up the consistent method. You know, this day it was the date numerology, this day it was the pitchers, this day it was the prime relationship with the distance from the pitcher's birthday. It's just like, okay. But we have locked into some patterns that do seem to stay true no matter what the day of the week is or what. So, I mean, that's everything. You can be real selective. And that is the thing to do here, is to absolutely be real selective. So, somebody did point out the thing about the umpires too, and over and unders. I'll link this. This gives over-under information for what games have been with certain umpires behind the plate. So if you want to scout, like if certain umpires are pitching, like one of these guys had over 80% of his games are over. Who was he? A. Porter. 86.7% of his games are over, which I guarantee if you watch this guy, his strike zone probably does not exist. It's probably right down the middle and a guy walks. You can just see some of these umpires that are a joke. It's like, really, buddy? Okay. So I'll link that in the description of the review video. We'll leave it there. Be back tomorrow, same time. Good luck, Truth Seeker.